Rashida Chanel on Instagram, Hickman High School graduate who moved to Texas. She just recently had my auntie Dana O'Hara murdered, shot up 5 times by her own boyfriend. I think she was in her 50s, and she just got a job in Kansas City, Missouri, as my mom, Pastor Lynn Judge, at the Metro bus station as a driver. And Rashida Chanel, Hebron Mills High School graduate, said in the spirit that she wanted my auntie's boyfriend to murder her and shoot her up 5 times. She's around me in the spirit. I'm a doctor, a pharmacy technician, engineering doctor at AU Altruist University, Greenbrier Parkway, Atlanta, Georgia. ALTIERUS University. And she got into the college, and she was mad about me and Theo Ratliff. He was with me in the spirit, hanging out with me, and we were having relations. She showed up and got mad about us having relations, so she had my auntie murdered by her own boyfriend. He showed up in my apartment in the spirit, 1224 East Linwood Boulevard, apartment 602, Kansas City, Missouri, 64109. Talking to Rashida Chanel, Hickman Mills High School graduate, off Instagram, um, about murdering my auntie. He said he'll do it no problem because she's so beautiful and sexy, and he don't mind throwing his life away. He was in his 70s, and then he came back and said that in the spirit, talking to her in the spirit, that he don't want to kill Dana no more because he found out Rashida could be Rashad, a man from birth from a long time ago, back in the days, word on the street. And then she said she's a woman, so he said he was going to go ahead and kill her anyway and wait in the penitentiary to hear the results from the other guys, whether or not she's a real man. They said the same thing about Kristina Ratliff, that she was a white man named Christopher Clyde. Now she goes by Kristina with a K instead of Chris with a C. And they got sex changes in the very beginning, when the world began, and set up gang rape on me. She keeps Rashida as his girlfriend in the spirit. And that's what helped her plan the gang rape when I was 16. I got gang raped by like 20, 30-something grown men. And again, they just recently, that was in the flesh, but again, they just recently put the same gang back on me. And I was thinking, how would they know that? Because I didn't even know the guys. It was in the dark in a hotel room when I was 16 and they were grown. They put the same gang back on me when Theo Ratliff was hanging out with me just recently for AU University, Greenbrier Parkway, Atlanta, Georgia, and my intern in Missouri. She showed up in the spirit and told him to come home. He said no. So she put the same gang back on me to rape me. And that just dawned on me that she set up the gang rape. And then I remember the whole thing where she lured my husband to come with her. If he didn't come with Kristina Ratliff, then she would set up a gang rape on his wife, which was me at the time. And she said in front of our family of 7, and he was crying, and I was crying, and our kids were crying. So he took 6, and I took 1. And he was leaving with her so that she would not gang rape me, but she still ended up going through with it. Kristina Ratliff and Rashida Chanel, Hebron Mills High School graduate. They have also Rashida Chanel had my grandma murdered, stopped feeding her a couple days, and didn't call the hospital. She could have got a feeding tube. Had my grandma murdered as a message that she didn't want Theo Ratliff having relationships with me. Rashida Chanel, Hickman Mills High School graduate, and also had Dana O'Hara in Kansas City, Missouri, Metro bus driver, murdered by her own boyfriend. And you see the conversation being done in the spirit, feds can, and judges at 1224 East Linwood Boulevard, apartment 602, Kansas City, Missouri, 64109. I did make sound, get them up out of here. You're planning murder. I have nothing to do with that. I did state that to the old man before he murdered my auntie. I did tell Brian Williams, my uncle, retired firefighter, Kansas City, Missouri, B. Hollywood. I told him, because I heard the conversation before time, I told him at the airport, at Kansas City, Missouri airport, on camera, not too long ago, going to Atlanta to see my son, Jamari Akamari Broom, to watch over Dana because Rashida Chanel said she was going to have her murdered. And he said he got the family and nothing's going to happen. And she said she was going to shoot her up 5 times. I said it right there on camera, and he said nothing's going to happen, and then it did happen. So I did actually tell him before time on camera, watch out for Dana and things like that. So I tried, guys. Miss Apple Wednesday Lorraine Champagne, my comedian name. I go by Dr. Andrea Leanne Williams, AU University, Greenbrier, Georgia. Tears. No justice has been given at all for anything. The gang rape, the spiritual gang rape, the flesh gang rape when I was 16, my grandma dying, Tony V. Carter, Dana O'Hara. No justice has been given besides getting the man who actually did it, who murdered Dana O'Hara. But Rashida Chanel, Hibbing Mill High School graduate, had her murdered. As a message, Deal Ratliff to stay away from me. We were having relations, so she shot her up 5 times, symbolizing pussy, Pussy. She did it over pussy, had her shot up 5 times. So she was murdering my auntie, mad that Deal Ratliff, me and him was having relations. So we stopped having relations, just about. But he wants justice and he's not standing down. He's hanging out with me in the spirit and he will not stop until his wife is put behind bars. He's with me in the spirit, Theo Ratliff, NBA basketball player. And Rashida Chanel, Hibbing Mill High School graduate, is put away for justice for good.